This is the talk of Music City Real Estate.
Welcome back to another episode of the Talk of Music City Real Estate,
where we educate and motivate all things real estate.
My name is Monty Moore with Realty One Group Music City.
Hey, and I'm Carey Ann with CMD Financial and My Mortgage Team.
Every week we'll be posting a new episode chock full of Nashville real estate value.
Yes, and you can follow and subscribe at thetalkmusiccity.com.
Got a question for us? Ask away at questions@talkmusiccity.com. That's questions@talkmusiccity.com.
Monty.
Carey Ann. Hey, I got a really awakening here recently. All these 37 years of my life in real estate. By the way, Jason Hoover, thank you for being here. Back by popular demand. It's Chrissy Amundson. But I got a rude awakening here recently, guys. All these years I've sold new construction. I've always rested in the fact that there was a 1-year home warranty on that home.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Is there not?
I mean, it's by law. There's a
Okay.
1-year home warranty on that new construction home. What I didn't know is that warranty is only as good as the company issuing it, which makes sense, but we don't think about that part of it. I don't know if anybody ever watched Tommy Boy when he was out promoting his dad's business, and they were, his competition saying they were guaranteed. And he said, well, what's the big deal? It says a guaranteed pile of whatever. I won't say the rest of it, but so the warranty is only as good as the company behind it. So here's the situation. I sold this house about a year or so ago, and 8-9 months into it, they and this was in Murfreesboro, nice home, beautiful home. Wasn't a cheap home. It was all brick. Well, anyhow, they came home one day after a really hard rainstorm, and they noticed it looked like the front of the house was melting.
Melting.
That's what it looked like.
That's not good.
And that's not good. No, that's what he said. That's not good. And so he brings out some experts, and apparently, here, long story short, apparently whoever mixed the mortar didn't get the right mix. And now in a hard rain, the mortar is literally dissolving between the bricks.
Oh my goodness.
Okay? And literally this house is, eventually it will,
right. All that will come
erode to a point of, and so I said, don't worry. The home is only 9 months old. You've got a 1-year home warranty on it, okay?
Right.
By the builder. Not a problem. We go to our, attorney. I said, not a problem. I set him up with an attorney, and the attorney says, well, look, that's an interesting topic here in Tennessee or anywhere else, I guess, because at the end of the day, because he hadn't recognized the name of the builder. And the builder, like I said, did a good job building a home. Doesn't build a lot of homes, maybe 6 or 8 homes a year. And normally you get a good home in those guys, okay?
Right.
And everything else about this home was fabulous. Real sand and finished floors, and great trim and molding, all the stuff that a quality builder does. But that builder didn't know that his guy who was mixing that day is probably a new guy or something. Sure. Who knows? Didn't throw in enough or too much, or I don't know what the combination is. I'm not a mud guy, but all I know is at the end of the day, when he went to sue this guy, the guy laughed and said, well, good luck. I don't have anything.
Oh. Huh?
Yeah. That's what he said. He goes, I don't have anything that you're going to get, so sue away if that's what you need to do.
Oh, you're kidding.
No.
Because the builder didn't do...
The builder didn't have anything too substantial for him to sue him for, okay?
So he wasn't willing to
He didn't have
fix
deep pockets. And it was going to cost over $20,000 to fix it, okay? And so anyhow, it's a reminder, guys, the point of the story is make sure that you understand that the builder that you're selling, that you're representing for that client is only as good, that warranty is only as good as that builder is.
Right.
And make sure that they have a solid reputation in that. I mean, I don't know if this builder now is still in business or not. I hope not. Because you can't take that kind of flippant attitude with somebody who's just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on a new home only to say, oh, good luck, I don't have anything.
That's awful.
But just a great reminder anyhow. So before we talk any further about our great topic today, let's talk about our sponsor.
Yes, Music City Removal. They're the #1 junk removal service in Nashville for residential, commercial, and construction. They're experts in ridding you of junk. Their costs include labor and dumping fees without any hidden or added expenses. Whether you need a full clean out or just one item removed, they have you covered.
The Music City Removal team knows the importance of respect and trust while in someone else's home. They understand the inconvenience of junk left behind by previous homeowners and tenants and are determined to provide an affordable and customer-focused junk removal service that puts you first. For a free on-site estimate, go to musiccityremoval.com. That's musiccityremoval.com.
Yes, Music City Removal, because clutter ain't cute.
Unlike what we have with us tonight.
I know.
Right?
I love it. I love it.
Two cutie pies.
I love it. Well, today I'm really excited about this topic.
Are you talking about me?
Yes.
No, it really was.
It was about
no, I was
you.
talking about Jim over there.
It was about you. That's funny. So I thought we would talk about, ways to nurture your business. Many of the folks listening today possibly are real estate agents. It's 2021 coming up here, possibly already when this airs. And we need to really get excited about, our business. And we don't know what it's going to shape up like, right? With maybe still some trickling things with the COVID situation, continuing, pandemic to continue. So ways to nurture your business. This is an exciting topic.
Yeah. And
It's an important topic.
Yeah, very important, because it's capturing mind share, and it's staying top of mind after you do capture it. And so many agents forget about that.
Right.
And I share some crazy stats, in one of those classes, and I don't remember the full breakdown, but the as far as capturing the mind share, trying to convert that lead. What was it? It was over 50%, or it's like 80% that doesn't try after one time.
Right.
Which, but anyway, it broke down to most people are actually converted from the 5 to 12 time touch.
Wow.
And only 2% of agents actually go that long.
Yeah.
But that goes into the nurturing and following up is key. So what I share with people is like, do you still see Coca-Cola commercials? Yeah. Yeah, well, but you already know who Coca-Cola is. It's because they just keep reiterating who they are over and over and over. And that's not anything that we shouldn't be doing.
Top of mind share. That's why one of the things I share with our agents all the time is, look, a bigger task or more important task than selling your next home is developing that database of people who know, like, and trust you, and so that you can stay on top of mind. So what do you want to be? You want to be the go-to person when somebody has a painter issue or a electrician issue or a plumber issue or whatever. Be the go-to person so that they can direct them, and then that law of reciprocity will eventually kick in, where they think, Jason has been so good about providing people for us, or solving situations. That's right, his wife's in real estate. Let's reach out to her, because he's been so awesome about maintaining that top of mind position. So I think that's really, really key to long-term success.
Well, two things is, one is that agents spend a lot of focus, that actually do this, on capturing the lead. But just like you were saying, they forget about the back end afterwards and staying top of mind. Another stat is that over 80% of people that purchased a home said they would use the same realtor, and only 12% actually do.
Right.
And that's the fault of the realtor for not showing up and being present over and over and over.
Well, what do they say? Repetition is the mother of all skill. You have to continue.
Right.
And you might think that you're doing too much, but sometimes too much is just a little, meaning how would you feel if you invested all this time to get that lead, and you thought you sprinkled some love and you nurtured, and then all of a sudden somebody else came right in at the right time and took over. That would be devastating, right? And so what systems are you going to put in place in 2021 to continue to nurture your business? Like you said, follow up is key. I think 5-7 times is important. It's kind of like baseball in my mind. I kind of do 3 main times. But why just do one? That would just be not smart.
We see that a lot with the agents I see that are struggling with their lead generation or, maintaining their leads. I think that's what they do. They say, I want to go and I want to find people that want to work with me. And they put all these great things in place. Then they find someone or some people who will work with them. And then they say, okay, I'm going to focus on this and work with them. But they stop all those efforts. So then when these are done, all these efforts they put in place have fizzled out. So the consistency is key, I think.
Yeah, those are what we call the roller coaster agents.
Yeah.
Because and it goes up and down, because they they are building
high low.
Yeah, they're building up, and they have a closings
Sure.
here, but they forgot to continue lead generating, and then all of a sudden, you don't.
And I would fall with, even at 37 years in the industry, I would fall into that category if I didn't have systems in place. Chrissy helping me with those systems, of course. I only do two things for my past clients, and everybody knows I'm not a competing broker. I am an active broker. I'm a relevant broker. I understand the pain and suffering of dealing with some of these entities out there, these big tech companies that we're competing with right now. So that's one of the values I bring, I feel like, of understanding, and not just from years past, but today's conflict out there between the realtor and the big tech company who's trying to replace us. But the two main things I do for my past clients, other than be that go-to person if they need something, is one of the ways I do that is a postcard that goes out automatically, and that postcard I know is heading to the garbage can. So I want to be impactful on the way to the garbage can. Okay, so I have something that I've always used. I mean, there's different ways to do it. Most of us know there's you can do recipes or pictures of dogs or whatever, and of course whenever in question you give a picture of the dog, we get more hits from Otis on Facebook than anything else we can post. But I do an inspirational postcard is what I use, because I want to touch that part of the brain and that heart that's inspired, okay, that's touched at that second, and then in those 7 seconds between picking up and going to the garbage can. And then I'll have a picture of me on there, of course, so they remember who's inspiring them. So again, this all happens subliminally. I have a call to action on the back. I thank them and I remind them that the highest form of flattery they can give me is referring their family and friends to me. I'll have a call to action there that speaks to them, what there might be dialed into. We all know everybody's dialed into WIIFM, what's in it for me. And so I try to fill all those spots with that one postcard, okay? They don't have to open it. They just have to carry it to the garbage as they are. They're being inspired by yours truly.
I love it.
The other thing I do, and much, again, to Chrissy's reminding, she just reminded me this morning, I believe it was, is that once a month we send out an email. And sometimes that email is just a simple email. Sometimes it's a little about what's going on in life at the time. But I made it really easy, and I'm really being surprised at the results that I'm getting from this. What I do at the end of it, of course, she sends along with that the update of the GNAR report of what's happening in the industry and values and so forth, and how many sales last month and so forth, which I think makes a great email out to the average person, who's interested in that. Just like Jim was saying, that we always open up that email that we get from you because we financed with you, and so you automatically get that, and that's really a value. But I'll write a letter or something on the end of it. I'll just say, are you just curious about your home's value? Just type in curious and hit return. And I make it that easy, and it's non-threatening, just curious. It's amazing how many responses I've gotten, how many homes I've listed this past year just curious.
Keep it seriously simple. Yes. Yeah. I love it. So go back to your mailing. So is it monthly?
It is monthly, and it's on autopilot.
Okay, perfect. I love that. So there's, mailing is one. You spoke about email. I think that's important. I love that it wasn't an art piece that you just sent. You physically wrote it.
No, it's. Oh, you mean the email?
The email.
Yeah. It's something from me.
Personally. Right. So it's a personal email, which is important.
Right, and we use this service called Woodpecker.
Yep.
And what's the difference? Can you break it down, Chrissy? Because I just know that it comes across like a personal email, correct?
Yeah, Woodpecker is great. And actually, so with this email, we had kind of initially played with some different formats of like, here's all this information, here's this formatted newsletter. And then we decided to simplify it with, hey, Monty, give me a note every month. I'm like, hey, I need your blurb for December. And then we put just one quick summary of statistics. If you give them all the information, they have nothing to call you for. So we give them a quick summary.
Right.
So it's just a short and sweet email. And then Woodpecker takes that, and you can put in your prospect list, and you can put how many you want to do per day, and it drips them out one at a time. So none of these spam filters are noticing that you are emailing to a list of 200 people. It comes off individual, and they see to Bill Smith at bill.com instead of a blind BCC because it's gone out to so many people. So it, for all purposes of them seeing it, looks like he typed in billsmith@bill.com.
Yeah.
I don't know how it does it, but it's amazing.
It's amazing.
And it's
tell you the
Write that
response-
down. That's great. I'm writing that
I
down.
can tell you the response rate really increased when they felt like they were getting something personal.
Yeah,
you know?
that is huge. And so the email that you opened for me, I think, is one that comes from HomeBot, which talks about, the appreciation versus where your mortgage is, et cetera, et cetera. That is something that you, as a real estate agent, looked into as well. You want to share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we actually, looking for other ways to nurture our clients. We landed on HomeBot and didn't even know that you had the lender side of it, which was beautiful. That it worked out that way, because you have the side that helps with people that had purchased a home, and it keeps them top of mind.
Right.
So it's real simple, but I love quality, and they send out a very beautiful type email, and it's one time a month. It's not spammy.
Right.
But we actually, so that's, on the side that you provide. So we go ahead and buy the other side of it, where we can actually put buyers into it.
Okay.
And we use that as part of our lead nurturing. And so when we get a new lead, like at an open house or an internet lead or whatever, we'll put them in there and actually have a VA that helps with some of this stuff. She'll go in and take that.
VA stands for what?
Oh, virtual assistant.
Virtual assistant.
So it's you know me, I try to automate everything.
Yeah,
I can.
you're good. I like that. I love it.
And so, I tried Zapier, and so Zapier's fantastic too for automation, but that's a whole other topic. But anyway, our VA will take that information, plug it into HomeBot, and then they are getting that same, a different type, but that same once a month touch. So that's just one of
Another
many
added.
parts of that nurturing.
So what I'm hearing, though, there's a system.
Oh, yeah.
Lead comes in, lead goes to VA, right? There's a system. And so that's one thing, as we're planning for 2021, is those systems and being committed to those systems,
Right.
So we talked about mailing, email. What are some other things that, can help you be in front of more folks?
One thing that we have set up for Mindy is there's there's automated emails that will go out as part of a drip, but we actually use a video service called Dubb, D-U-B-B.
Okay.
It's similar to BombBomb,
Okay.
but a little bit less expensive. And we bought
DUBB? Okay.
I bought into it a few years back when they first launched, so we bought like a lifetime thing on it.
Sure.
So dirt cheap. But all we did is we took our cell phone and recorded her introducing herself.
Okay.
Very simple, but it's generic. She's not, talking to them directly, but it puts a face with
Love
the
it.
name. And so that's one of the email, very simple email. Hey, just want to introduce myself. And it's a video, and they just play the video, and it's like maybe, I don't know, 40 seconds long. So, hey, I don't remember, but something like, hi, I'm Mindy Hoover. I just wanted to reach out and say hi,
Right.
introduce myself.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
'Cause
so
you're-
video-
now you're more than just a name. Now you're a
Exactly.
face and a smile and
Right.
And you might be on the other, watching this other side of this, think, oh, I don't look right for video, or I sound goofy. It's all about ownership. They're going to see you
Be
eventually.
authentic.
Yeah. And they're
Be
going to hear you.
People will like you for you.
Absolutely. And I will say, I have this video series for the lending, and I think it's goofy and silly. And I'm like, no one's going to like this. I made a whole huss and a fuss about the whole thing. And more people compliment. What I'm saying is, what we think may not be what the recipient wants to see sometimes is not true, right? Possibly it would be
and
a
it
win.
goes, and there's a quote, I don't remember who, but people won't remember what you say. They'll remember how you made them feel.
Right.
And same thing with just being authentic. That's why laughter and joking around is one of the best things you can do. If you mess up, that's perfect. Use that.
That's
Right, be real.
100% true. I had, when I first started, I thought, I have to be luxury realtor and I'm a professional and I have to speak about this. And I was doing this property tour through a community, and I'm like, and over here on the left you have these houses, but I was out on a dock and I almost fell off the dock.
Yeah.
And it was on video and it was hysterical, and I laughed at myself. And then I thought, I'm going to put that blooper in my Instagram reels, and then people loved it because it shows you're real,
Right.
I love that.
And sometimes you have to do that to feel more comfortable behind video, like when you start to laugh at yourself, But, talking about, video, that's a big part of my business. I think it's I will think if you go back 3 years ago, those weren't so good, those videos, but you got to start somewhere.
Right.
And really it comes with the confidence and being able to just be able to do it. So you can do a lot right from your cell phone. It's 4K. But what I would say is if you plan to post it on social media, you want to make sure everything is in landscape. It's super important. Write notes, Monty. Write notes. Super important. But you can do
phone to do that.
But you can get yourself a tripod, right?
Yeah.
And wow, do you not look fabulous with a little light?
The ring light.
So go ahead and get on Amazon. It's probably $29.99, maybe $59.99. I'm not really sure, but you can get yourself a light, and wow, it just brightens everything up. I should walk around with a light. No, I did buy the light.
People are just holding a light on
Just
you.
hold the light. Just hold the light.
One with a fan and one holding it.
Too funny. But I did buy the light for the cell phone, and I will say it didn't work. Meaning it lit up like it lit up like my nose. It didn't light up, So taking it a moment if you wanted to, and find a place if you're going to be, doing the video at home and you're wanting to find your place, right? Find what that look and feel is it's going to be. If you're doing Zoom still, which we all are, and I coach a lot of people on Zoom, and I noticed that their picture with their Zoom is this much of their face and this much of the ceiling, So take a moment and take a picture of yourself or videotape it and then play it back. And do you like the look? Would you like the look?
Right.
Sometimes you want to just kind of set yourself up there. So that's one option, that they can do.
One thing too, I learned this trick a long time ago, back whenever I was learning, I was going through and doing more speaking engagements.
Yeah.
Was they said to watch yourself on mute. And because I'm big on subconscious, they're picking up on how your face is communicating to them. And for me, unfortunately, I have almost an angry resting face, and people keep asking me like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like,
I can relate to that.
I was going to tell you, Jason.
"Yeah, I know, right?"
I got these wrinkles right
I think
here.
they have a word for that.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but but that was huge. Is that it's people? I mean, they're picking up on that even though
Right.
they don't know it, and so people like me, we have to be intentional to not have that resting angry face.
And it's also in your voice too, right? I mean, I went to, and I learned something from Discount Tire. This is so random, but I love businesses and I love going to each one and learning something new from the business owners.
So regardless of what they are.
Exactly. So do you know if you call Discount Tire, they're very expressive over the phone. They're trained that way.
Yeah.
Because they say the one that's very monotone over the phone, you kind of fall into that, that environment, or that feel, etc. So think about that when you're doing videos. As much as you don't want to be expressive, it's going to come across through, the video in a way that they're going to feel more comfortable with it.
But I do want to say this is very important. Do not overcomplicate it. Don't
keep it
it
simple.
as simple as possible, because if you do overcomplicate it, you will not do it. Period. You may do 1, 2, or maybe 3, but if you can keep it simple, you will more than likely keep it up.
And go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, do what you're comfortable with. So I don't particularly like sitting in one spot and doing me and the camera. I like being out and about, and I do it this way, selfie style. Here I am at a restaurant, and that works for me. So I think know your strengths and what makes you feel comfortable, because people will know if you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, and depending on what type of video you're doing, right? So if you're doing an educational video, if you're sitting and talking, being out at the bar trying to talk to the customer may not be, the right setting.
Right.
But you're right. If you are introducing a new business, and what you're doing is just doing, do, right?
Know your audience.
Exactly. Get out there, and continue to do it. Live video, whether it's on a different social media platform, whether that's Facebook or Instagram, your live videos are going to be on the top of somebody's feed. So if your intention is to put these videos, maybe not through an email, but through your social media, you can actually take you can take a video, make sure, again, landscape's the key. You can take that and you can put that in live. So you could, if you're very nervous because you don't want to do a live, you can pretend you're live videotaping it. So if it comes out bad, delete, try again, right? It's okay. And then you can put it in as a live video and you can get the same, effect, which is great. But the live and being able to be comfortable in your own skin, and with the live, you're forced to be okay with the mistakes. You're forced to say a word that makes no sense. Sometimes things come out that don't make any sense. It's okay, right?
Yeah, I would challenge the listeners. Look, one of the things I did, because I used to be super shy. I had a stuttering issue. I hated getting in front of anybody for anything. I was so shy, and at 6'5" and a half at 8th grade, that was tough. Being shy because you couldn't run in the crowd. But one thing I learned with when I took a Dale Carnegie course, that one thing that they did for us. First of all you have to ever talk about is what you've earned the right to talk about, which then you can talk out of your heart, and it takes all that pressure away from your head. At least my head it did. But also. They talked about, they had us go through these really extreme things, okay? I'll never forget, one of them was you had to roll up this newspaper and bang on this thing and say fee, fi, fo, fum, and just do stupid out of the box. Just crazy things to take it to an extreme so that when you got into real life, it wasn't really that bad, Yeah. And, last year I remember doing something stupid, and I remember being at your your amazing training room, at one of our trainings, and what I did was, because I hated the idea of doing a video. I just hated it. I don't know who the old guy is I turned into, but I hated that because it reminded me of how old I've gotten, but the point is, I did one with just totally, like I just woke up, hair all over the place and everything, because I wanted to show the group there that day that if I'm willing to get this far out of my comfort zone, surely it's not that big a deal. Because we are trying to, one of the reasons we're talking about this today is encourage agents to get out of their comfort zone. Right. Do something extreme. You'll feel better about yourself. And you know what? You are who you are. You're not going to surprise anybody. It is what it is. So anyway, that's from the old guy.
Yeah, and putting that in your plan for 2021 is key. Video is key. And you talk about it. And I think some people write it on the list and then they scratch it off and they move it to the next list. And that keeps following them all year. And so if you need somebody to encourage you to get out and do that, we're telling you that this is a way to really make a difference in your business. And then social media, right? We laugh about it. We're on it. I'm over 40, so I only know, as maybe you are too, Monty, but but you probably know more social media platforms than I do.
I got people.
There you go. I'm only as good as Facebook. That's all I know. But I know who my audience is, right? And so my audience is referral partners, right? And so I strategically put a lot of my stuff out there to go towards my audience of referral partners. So if you are somebody looking to connect more with the consumer, they say you should do a rotation. It's not all real estate, right? It's a sprinkle of a little bit of you, because you have the ability to bring somebody into your world, right? They may not you trust you yet, but now they're following you on social media and they're like, oh my gosh, she's here, she's there. Yeah. I love her personality. She's got the best smile, right? How does she get her hair like that every single time? You start to build that. And oh, by the way, she's great at real estate, and it's not all about the sold signs and the just listeds, right? It's a little bit of sprinkle, of everything, you being a dad and, with your dog. I think that's a huge thing. So again, a system, how do you get people into your world? Like you were sharing, you put them into your email campaign. You then should ask them to be friends, right? And put a system, a social media plan in place, for 2020. Supposedly I'm on Instagram. I don't even know how to get on it. So again, I have a Chrissy too, at the office, but they're only taking the information that I personally post. So you're like, should you hire a company to help you with social media? You can do that. I noticed that a lot of those things that they're posting is in my mind, are pieces. So it's so pretty that I miss it. I just kind of scroll through it, where if you are able to put a little of your own personality in it, I think they'll stop, they'll pause. I say create curiosity, turn ahead. I think you were sharing, top of mind, or, being part of the mindshare. So, social media is the place. And again, you may be on it, but are you posting 3 times, 4 times a day? It's a full-time job. But I will say that it works.
It does.
I help a lot of families. I get a lot of people's heads turned to create mortgage financing opportunities through social media. So I will continue to do that. So when you start to see the success, you'll do the same, right?
Yeah.
So I love it. So we talked about mailing, email, video, and we talked about social media. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you, Chrissy, again for coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always learn something when I'm here, so it's great.
It is. Always good to see you.
Jason, it's always good to see you, sir.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We're going to make 2020 our best year ever. You've been
2021.
listening. Oh, 2021. Look at me. Hey, I'm still living back in the
We're
life.
out of 2020, okay? Goodbye, 2020.
See? You don't have
See
to
you
be
later,
perfect.
2020.
It's totally fine. That's how we do it. You've been listening to The Talk of Music City Real Estate.